Welcome to Raw Babes. Hey, what's your name?
TT.
Hi, and my name is Kristen, also known as KK.
Okay, fine. I'm Tiffany.
Yeah, come on. I was like, what's your name? You're like, TT. I'm having a tay for TT. Okay, let's get down to business. Shante. How are you doing? Happy Thursday, buds.
Bruddy? Yeah.
Bruddy.
Bruddy.
Wow.
I was sweating last night.
Switting or sweating?
Sweating.
Switting.
Working out, sweating?
Yeah, so saunaing and working out.
Sweating.
Or sweating and working out.
Sweating.
So we figured out, you guys, what sweating really is. It isn't spitting while knitting. It's sweating and working out. So we have discovered that we now have to have our own dictionary for everybody to understand our language.
Exactly.
It will be called the Kristen and Tiffany vocabulary. We'll just... Oh my God, there's a shirt.
A long time ago.
There's another shirt. Raw babes, switting.
Switting.
Fucking, what does that mean? And then we can put the verb and the pronoun and all the shit underneath of it. Just banging out great ideas. Okay. As you guys know, we have our circle February 13th. If you didn't hear the there's a circle when I said that. It was
Circle.
like circle jerk. On February 13th, 7:45 to 9:45 Latin Flavors. We'll see you there. We have these every month. Come down. It's so great.
It's so great.
It is so great.
Yeah.
We have our Bobo buy one, bring one.
Yeah.
And that's still rocking our socks off.
You know what I thought was, I should switch hands with this one.
Is that what you really thought?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
but
okay.
I thought that people should maybe, for those who hear about the circles, like, who is it good for? Like, what kind of person would do that? Not in a judgmental way.
You're like, well, what kind of person
are you?
would do that?
No. I mean, like, to help the audience who have not ever tried a circle, who would this be good for?
Every person.
I know,
the number one
yes.
person it's good for is the person that doesn't want to come and go. That's the person that needs to be there.
Let's go a little bit more detail. Sometimes we don't know what we need. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know.
How about just some self-love?
This is true. So I would say this
down.
would be for anybody who is wanting to amp up their self-love practice. I think it would be great for people who are curious in spiritual work.
Yeah.
I think it's really good for people who are looking just for like a positive community.
Yeah, meeting other people.
Yeah, there's lots of networking that happens.
Confidence is huge because you're doing things you wouldn't normally do. So you're facing fears, and the more you face fears, the more the fears don't rule you.
That's right. That's big.
That's the biggest thing.
I remember having so much fear behind like speaking in front of lots of people. And I mean, soon enough, one day it'll be hundreds of thousands. Manifesting.
Obviously. I'm not even like phased here.
Yeah. But yeah, so I had fear, starting the podcast. I have had fear, competing for a number of years. That fear before you compete, like,
oh my God, before you go on stage for dance is another. You're just like pretty much. I'm eating my stomach.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
But understanding what that is and what that does for you is really good, because that actually, we do talk about those things. I feel like it kind of comes up naturally with the exercises that we do.
Yeah. It helps you face them and get these confidence. It's like people
it's like ripping it away from you. And you never,
layers and layers and layers of conditioning and old belief patterns.
Yeah.
It's like getting on a plane. You know you're going to go on that plane anyways. You know that you're terrified. You can be so scared from the moment you leave your house, and you can be suffering all the way to the point you get on the plane. Then you're off the plane, and you've literally put yourself in fight or flight, stress response, cortisol. You've rocked your immune system. You've lowered your immune system due to all these things.
Yeah.
So these tools that Tiffany and I like to do help you in these situations of, okay, I'm going to feel the feelings. I'm going to go inside. You're not having to medicate from them. You are just going to face them. And then you're going to go, oh, I'm going anyways. So why am I going to suffer? Why can't I be on the plane and enjoy it?
Eventually, it gets to that point where it's a non-issue. But it's so cool, like you said. It's like you get in these situations where your emotions are heightened, and there's a part of you that would probably fall into just like old conditioned way of being, whether it's like acting out of fear or out of anger, which is usually fear. And letting the situation control you instead of you controlling the situation.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is literally pretty much, that's it in a nutshell. That is everything in life.
T-shirt, man. We got another fucking logo. Let's go.
Woo! Another saying. What did you say? Letting the... Good thing it's recorded.
Don't let the situation control you.
You control
the
you.
situation.
Or you.
Or the thing.
Don't let the situation control you. You control you. Anyways.
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
So, anything else you want to touch on that, or shall we move to the next?
Let's move on.
Okay. Something that, if you guys watched our live, I'd love to share this because it's life-changing. Near-death experience with Nancy Rynes, Rynes. She had a crazy bike accident. It changed her life and her path. She was atheist. She was a scientist. She didn't believe in nothing. She was on this certain type of path. I watched this. It's pretty much an hour. And I was crying. I was so grateful that I stumbled upon this freaking video. She has an amazing story. It matches what I have intuitively connected with and learned on my path, and a lot of the spiritual teachers that Tiffany and I enjoy listening to, and it is so profound. I can't talk more about it. I sent it to so many people after I watched it, and I will watch it yet again because of what she witnessed and the connection. And this is stemming down to fear. If you have fear of death, please watch this. It will change your perspective, and it will change your life. And it will have just you'll have a different understanding of why you're here. And a lot of the tools and things that Tiffany and I talk about, how things are planned, and you have life reviews and la 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 la, all these things. We will put the link for this amazing show in our notes. Tune into it. Tell me what you think of it, because wow. It was
and that's the
insane.
gift of story, of like sharing other people's experiences. Like if you think of like our ancestors, and when it came to like circle time, that's what it was. It was sharing stories and taking the lesson out of that. What does that mean? So you did it. Yeah. We're sharing it. Yeah. I love it.
And what she's doing is giving people an opportunity to look a little bit deeper, and then to zoom the fuck out. Instead of being so zoomed in, get out of there.
Like stepping outside of the box a little bit and just kind of doing a self-review.
Yeah.
I think I actually like doing that. If I was to do it, if I was to think how often I do that, would seem to be quarterly. Like really just give yourself a good life review of like looking back. And the reason why I do that is so I can give myself credit, because I don't often do that. Yeah, I did hear that.
Okay. That was awesome. I liked it.
A little noise in the background.
It was water.
It was water. It's just like... Yeah, so...
That's huge. Is going there and doing a life review. Huge chapter in my life is complete, and it's insane. So the fact that you're talking about a life review and this whole near-death experience, and what I encourage and we encourage everybody to do is take a look at how the fuck did you get there in the first place? How did you end up being in a relationship, or, in a job like that? How did you get to that point? So are we just doing what we always do right now? Perfect. Really reflect on where you are, why are you there, why are you in those relationships, and really take that deep dive. And don't do it in a way that you're hurting yourself or you're beating yourself up about it, because that's really easy to do. Really easy to do.
That was in our card poll. If you watch our live, we did talk about this.
Yes, this is all in alignment. with what we're meant to channel and share today. There's a lot of channeled messages that have come through TT and I to, of course, share with the collective, so that you guys can just take time to take introspection on.
Good word.
Just channeling. This is channeling. To go inside and question everything.
Discernment.
Everything.
Love that word. I love that word.
Introspection.
And
Introspection.
this is what I wrote down earlier. What Kristen referred to just now was the fact that her and I have telepathy.
Yeah.
That's it, right? That's how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Telepathy. You did it. Good job.
So I stopped trying to understand the why every time. I go intuitively because I know the difference when something makes me feel overjoyous or not good at all, or the balance in between. This will make sense later down the road. So when we're in the deep depths of our life and it's looking absolutely impossible to see what's happening on the other side, you're literally losing hope in all aspects of like what could else be, because you're so hopeless. And I mean, I had a conversation recently with someone that was in their depths, and what was going through their head at that time, and having the lack of the hope in the higher, like whatever your belief in, if you believe in something bigger than you,
like source or universe or God or your higher self,
any God, I don't care. Yeah, but sometimes when you get so deep into it and you cannot fucking see, you can't see the difference anymore. You cannot connect to source, so you will feel hopeless.
Offline, yeah.
You're completely offline. Yeah. You're probably really, really sick, or you're very traumatized
or depressed.
Very much so. It looks different for everybody, and you do not have to have a bad childhood to be in trauma. A trauma can happen at any point in your life, and we will all experience it. Mm-hmm. So there's not supposed to be any judgment for anybody that's had a hard upbringing versus somebody who has not had a hard upbringing but was still brought up by loving parents. It does not mean that something traumatic has not happened. So all of our traumas can be a little bit, they had different stories, same feelings.
That's right. That's the common denominator there.
Isn't
it?
The
same feeling.
It's the same feeling.
We're all
it's the same
fucking
shit.
working with the same thing.
Yeah. So
doesn't matter.
It's just we have a little bit more compassion, and like imagine having that aptitude of understanding someone else's story and what they had to go through.
That's right.
To regain resilience in their life.
Hole. It's like I see you.
Yeah, I see you.
My shirt. I see you. Right?
Avatar.
That's yes. I see you. That's the most important thing here on earth. And part of Nancy's story of what she talks about is love and how you make another person feel. She told a woman at a grocery store, she got to watch it after she had transitioned and she was basically connecting with her spiritual teacher.
Okay.
They showed her in this beautiful water that exact moment of when she went through the checkout and told this woman, I hope you have an amazing day. She was really kind to her. She got to see the rippling effect of when she went home and saw her family and how she completely changed her life.
Because of that interaction.
Because of that one interaction.
Wow.
She also got to see what she said to her sister and how it impacted her sister as their child in the most negative, hurtful, craziest way. She had to feel what her sister felt. So understand that everything you do on earth, you can't get out of this. You have to relive and feel everything that you did, and that repercussion, you will see how you impacted them and then they impacted you. And she talks about this, and it's very important because she realized, okay, I need to continue my mission here with self-love and compassion and leading the way of how I'm treating other people. Mm-hmm. Once you get this concept, your life. And it's not out of fear that you're going to be in trouble or that you're going to be punished, because it doesn't work like that on the other side. There's no hell. It's not like that. It's here on earth is pure lessons.
Yeah.
And that's why the most extreme things happen to people, and they do terrible things, and they still have somebody that loves them and a teacher and a guide. They're all playing their part and their role. Everybody has a role to play. So don't be in fear like, oh my God, I did these terrible things and I was a bully when I was a kid and whatever. Make the change now. Apologize now. Change your actions of how you've been leading your life day in or day out, and how do you treat other people, or greed, and then come back to love again. And she explains this with way more experience or knowledge from what she went through and what she saw. So that's why I keep coming back to this, of how it's impacted me in such a great way. So
well, we hear this a very similar concept through Dolores Cannon.
It's the same thing. All of them. Louise Hay, fucking every spiritual teacher.
And there's a lot of philosophers.
Philosophers? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, my dad was he called me and he's like, I'm going to get the books that I read when he was young. Like he read that when he was young, of these type of stories, these types of lessons. So these have been written for
hundreds.
He's not that old, but
no.
yeah.
Not him.
Yeah,
but these are concepts
just in general.
Yeah.
Like, we're just speaking from new age concepts. Like, this is just people that have been alive since we've been alive. So that's where we're getting our information. But there's a lot of information out there that has been written and experienced before our time.
Well before.
We're not the first ones.
No, we are not. And I'm so grateful for people that have these near-death experience. Yeah. If you tap into that and you guys want to like know more of that, there's like literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people that have experienced this, and they all come with the same fucking story, just different. Where they show up, whether there's a light or whether they're in a meadow or whatever, it's because they're creating their own reality. It's if you believe that something negative is going to happen to you when you pass, you'll probably create something like that when you first pass over, and then you'll see like, oh my God, everything was just such an illusion. She talks about how being here is just literally like, I don't even know, like it's just like a play. It's like a blip in time. We talk about this. Yeah. She says there, it's like she's home. She's like, I don't want to fucking go back there. She says that. She's like, she's talking to her teacher. She's like, you're telling me that I have to go back? She's like, no. I'm good. Like, this is home. I'm home now. But like, no, you planned this. Like, you sat with your spiritual teachers and planned that you're going to have this experience and to come back. She's like, no. I don't believe you. So they literally had to show her before she came down here.
Yeah.
The plan. She's like, so this is even cooler, you guys, and I will use my own experience with this. Okay. So she got to see all these plans, and she now remembers back 3 times before every opportunity she had to wake up and to remember and get connected again, and she bypassed it. So, for example, with me, I'm going to use relationship. I had multiple opportunities of catastrophic events that happened from the past relationship. And guess what I did? I bypassed it. So the things got larger and larger. So it's like, holy fuck, we really do plan these things to happen to us. Mm-hmm. And then it's up to us, of course, if we choose to or not, because of the free will, to learn the lesson or bypass it. And it's however long that you want to keep bypassing it, the shit gets bigger. And then that's why she ended up being at the accident, that level of it.
Right.
Because she wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
So for me, it was crazy. We can move on. But for me, I was like, oh my gosh, this makes sense. I now remember like ample opportunities that I had to move on in my life. Yeah. And I was like, no. But you do it when you need to or in your time. Yeah. Because it's your fucking journey. It's your choice.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
A thought came in while you were talking.
I could see you were like.
And I remembered it.
It's even better, obviously. When you're connected, you're connected. And if it has to be shared, this shit has to be shared. There's no mistakes. You're hearing this for a reason. It's for you.
Now I forgot.
Oh. No, it's going to come back.
You were saying, oh, fuck.
It's back. Say team, drop it in, and it's important, and it's back. Damn. I should have just let you go.
That's so weird. That is so weird.
No, but that's how...
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
We get to have an inside scoop on TT's brain, which is so cool. I love you.
Oh, you guys are so lucky.
So lucky.
Just if you feel that you are kind of alone in this like self-discovery and or maybe you're called to share with somebody else, but just know this, Facebook has a shit ton of groups, and I can guarantee you can find something to do with what you're experiencing.
True.
Telling you. Like,
this is a good point. Good
yes,
tip.
because it's really, breaks my heart to hear people going through these experiences like as a lone wolf. And I know, you're kind of meant to do that, and it's happening for you, but I do understand that loneliness, the feeling that like, fuck, am I crazy? Am I crazy to think these things?
You're not.
And you're not. I mean, if there are, now I am going to choose my words carefully, but now if you are having a life-changing experiences that's not serving you, I really think you should relook at like that plan and what you're considering. Like, everything's fine. This is happening for me.
That's spiritual bypassing.
It is. So
I've done it.
I just feel like anything that sits heavy on you, even if it's like a regular thing that you do is now you're normal, just know if it's not lifting you up, it's probably just needs to get looked at and just really considered and just get curious, because I feel like that's the pathway to peace and true happiness. But
we have to have that as a shirt. Pathway to peace.
Pathway to peace.
We have to.
It's just
we have to. Why don't we have a shirt that says
every time
the
you
pathway
say
to
it, I
peace.
just want you to do it with a lift.
We should say pathway to peace. We really should. We have to bring humor into this. It's just, there's no way.
Yeah. So that is that. You don't have to do it alone.
No, and I love the good tip. There's hundreds of things out there.
Yes.
Something that we didn't do that I was hoping if you wanted to share just a little quick story.
Oh.
Last time when we were on our live, we said that we're going to head back over to our podcast and that we were going to talk about what happened to your fucking
Oh, fuck.
hair. And we forgot. So I
didn't forget.
No, you didn't forget, but we forgot to share it on our podcast.
And I thought I felt grateful.
Oh, that we weren't sharing it. Okay. We don't have to share it then.
Listen.
A mistake happened, and that's it.
It happens. Yeah. I mean, I was getting a razor facial.
No, what's it called? It's called
scraping.
Michael. No. This is the shit that just okay.
You just basically
microblading. No, it's not microblading. Fuck.
It's like scraping your shit off.
Okay,
your
you
face.
can tell the story and I'll find out what it's called because it's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah. So just the razor got a little too close to my hairline.
And I don't know. I'm sorry for laughing.
And I got home and I'm like, shit. I'm bald. It wasn't just one spot. It was a few.
It was.
And now they're growing out and they drive me fucking nuts. Look how long that is. It just looks like I have these little baby hairs that, just. So anyways.
It was a funny story, and why we shared it is because they were sticking up on last week's episode. I was like, well, we have to. Yeah, it was definitely dermaplaning. Thank you. Sheesh. It's one of those things. They're great, but the person that's doing it needs to stop before they hit the line.
I mean, that's okay. I mean,
Tiffany, you're such a good
learning,
sport.
you know. Yeah.
You're such a good sport.
This is one thing though, like a lesson that I remember around the time that we talked about this, and it went along with a few other things. I had some of the guys from our company work at our house. We just doing some renos, and one of them broke our poop portal.
Do you guys remember the poop portal? You have to remember the poop portal.
I made a poop portal for my dogs.
Yeah, that's on episode.
It's on yeah, it looks like applesauce. It was fucking disgusting. But I just think that, like, when you break something or
fuck it up,
I just think it's really
amicable.
I think it's important that you own it. I think it's important to be like, yeah, the thing, sorry. Like, I just, there's something about when it's not being owned, even if it's so fucking obvious, if you just could just own it. It just speaks volumes. And I am not perfect. I'm saying this because I have not owned things in the past. And, you know, if I didn't get to own it with somebody that had an experience with me in the past, then I own it with myself. Because sometimes, you know, like that time has passed. Like, you no longer will be speaking to that person or whatever. But
that's when you bring in a wicked forgiveness technique, which
definitely is... like, I've held lots of shame in like my work ethic back in my younger years and just not showing up, like, and I just didn't own it. I'm like, fuck it, that's my thing. Fucking doing it.
Right. When you just have some sort of distraction or belief or not, you know, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just a bypass. Bypass. Yeah,
and then being young, I would take offense really easily if somebody had a problem with it. I'd be like, what do you mean? Now it's like the older I get, I just don't fucking care.
No.
I just don't give a shit.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Well, I mean, I care with love.
Something I'd like to share is, I'm sure we've talked about this in the past. I don't really know if we have, but the pattern. Dude, the pattern. Do you guys know what the pattern is? The pattern is an app. I highly encourage you, I think I'm really far away from the mic. I highly encourage you to get it because the pattern is a great app for friends, for yourself, and for lovers and connections. So I'm reading this for you, Tiff, because it's funny. You can match your friendships and just certain things, and it is so bang on. It's so freaky. You're like, what? So listen to this.
And just for everybody's sake and knowledge, we are not sponsored by Pattern. No,
we are
yet.
not.
So we're not.
Just so you know, we are saying this because we actually like it. So it says, the connection with Tiffany and I, 2 friends. You and Tiffany have an unusually strong connection. Even if there are other tensions between you, there's an aspect of the connection that is especially enjoyable and probably makes both of you feel more confident. You and Tiffany might feel closer to each other than you do with other friends. Tiffany's the type of friend who can keep you grounded. There's something solid about her presence. It's like she's pushing you to be better. No. So I wanted to share that because these are prime examples of cool connections, and then also for yourself. So it talks about your moon placement and astrology and like where your like Mercury is in. My Virgo is in Mercury and my sun and all these types of things, and it's cool. Take them as for like fun. Don't go crazy and believe all these things. Just sit with what resonates, leave what doesn't. But it's so dope because it will say empowered or repressed today, powerful or deep, original or different, and it will say like lengths of cycles, and some things are so freaky deaky. You're just like, wow.
I know, it's pretty dope.
That's a good tip. I will put a little insight timer in that.
Cool.
I have something. Are we ending it?
I don't know.
I have something I wanted to drop.
Drop, bitch.
Okay.
Drop that ass.
Okay, so I didn't talk to Tiffany about this because it's something that I'm doing on my own as well. I need to share this. Okay. I've been getting so many signs and synchronicities that are like, do it, do it, do it, do it. Talk about it, talk about it. I'm like, and I've been avoiding it.
Okay.
I have to fucking share the truth because I'm just this truth fucking seeker. And that's what we are, is raw, and we just share it. What?
Oh, it's his lights. Never mind.
Okay. Okay. So, eggs. I know she's going to be like, what the fuck? I have to share about,
Okay.
There's a thing that they've been talking about eggs, and recently they're saying that they cause blood clots. So there's a rise in this. So there's certain things that they're kind of pinpointing, like they're all of a sudden saying about gas stones. So first of all, gas stoves and the gas from it, they're saying is a rise in certain things that are happening to people. So this is the thing. All these things have been going on for many, 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 many years. So the truth about eggs, so it's not like all of a sudden they're causing these blood clots in people. I want to just share the truth about eggs. Okay, I have to. It's driving me nuts because people are like, they go nuts. So I'm not talking about it from a vegan perspective. I'm not talking about it from, I think it's cruelty. This is vegan, like about animals. This is zero. I'm talking about the fact of what eggs are doing to people's bodies. And this goes back to the 1900s. This is research. This is actual factual shit that I'm talking about. And I'm going to read it if I have the space to do that. Open your minds right now. Like eggs, people eat them 360 days a year, some people, and sometimes multiple. And I'm going to speak of myself. I ate eggs 2-3 times a day. I loved them, you guys. This is truth. I freaking loved them. I loved the fact I was like, oh, they give me protein, omega-3s, all these things.
It's easy.
It's easy. It's so quick. So why I'm sharing this is because I discovered this. I uncovered what was happening to my body to now be able to speak about it. And I have not had any eggs for like 3 years because of the fucking truth of eggs. So people are going to say very controversial things like, well, you know, if you get an egg and you have it in your backyard, or sorry, a chicken and you have it in your backyard, then there's no hormones and you're raising it yourself. You're feeding it what you want to feed it. So this chicken is great because this beautiful egg comes out and it's no hormones, no antibiotics, nothing. So the problem with the egg above all of these things, the baby itself that is in there has its own hormones. So the baby in the egg, the yolk, the whites, doesn't matter what part about this fucking egg. The problem is the hormones that are in there. But then people say, but you know what? We're going to cook it and there's going to be the proteins and the omegas and all this. I'm sorry to tell you, everything is cooked and burned off. There's no omega and there's nothing left. You've just cooked it completely. It's like dull nothing. So no hormone or antibiotic added, but the beautiful little chick has its own hormone that you're eating and you're disturbing your body. Also, when you cook the egg, guess what else goes? All the nutrients. Guess what else, Tiff? All the bacteria in your body that are viruses, cancer. Guess what they love? The egg. So not your body, not your liver, not anything else. So you have these pathogens, these bacteria, and cancer is the number one lover of eggs. Anybody that has cancer and they're eating a fucking egg, that egg that they're eating is just so happy because they're like, yes, they are getting the pathogens. Secondly, so the egg, they will thrive and then it multiplies. So when you eat the egg, it is not doing anything positive for your body. Sorry, not sorry. I have way more info on this. This goes down to the 1900s. I am going to read a little piece of this. Whoever doesn't want to listen to this, that's your choice. I'm just saying, open your mind. Even take this information that I'm going to read quickly and go deeper with it and do your own research, and you will find this crazy shit. Okay? Ready? Okay. I was going to save this for, which I am going to do this big thing on it because it's been called. The tipping point for me today, Tiffany.
You better be careful. Some chickens are going to take you out, girl.
So I'm okay because what I'm reading off of, so the medical medium, Anthony Williams, has helped millions of people. But this guy isn't getting his information just from nothing. He's done his research and his information, and he's also very connected. So where he's getting his stuff isn't to benefit him in any way. He's like, the poor egg that was so awesome for us got ripped away from us, not because of the egg. It was because of what they did to the fucking egg. And that's why I want to read this, because it's like truth. Okay? Here's the story. Ready? Decades ago, before your time, for most of you reading this, eggs were used in scientific research. Here's the fucking lie, guys. They took the egg in laboratories, Tiffany, okay, as food for microorganisms, unproductive bacteria and viruses such as streptococcus, can't fucking pronounce half these words, but I'll try, Staphylococcus, the Epstein-Barr virus, HHV6, herpes simplex 1 and 2, shingles, something else, even HPV, and retroviruses such as human immunodeficiency, HIV. Were all toyed with, manipulated, and raised in labs using eggs as the pathogen's food source.
God.
That's it. The pathogen's food source. That is, eggs were used to keep aggressive bugs alive. The same bugs that today give us endometriosis, fibroids, PCOS, which is what I had, and which I fucking ate eggs all the time. I was rotting myself. Cervical, ovarian cancers, breast cancer, MS, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, Hashimoto's, thyroiditis, and ME/CFS in record numbers. If those don't raise an eyebrow for you, then consider eczema, psoriasis, acne, vertigo, balance issues, dizziness, tinnitus, ringing and buzzing in ears, tingling, numbness, mystery aches and pains, ongoing fatigue, unexplained blurred vision, eye floaters, white or dark circles in the vision, brain fog, crippling anxiety and depression. Many of the pathogens that were raised on eggs in labs in the early 1900s through 1930s were privately categorized, patented, and censored from the outside medical system. That is, the viruses were not made publicly known to medical schools and doctors. It took virologists stumbling upon the viral strains in people's bodies years later for these viruses such as Epstein-Barr virus, HHV6, to be discovered in private circles. Epstein-Barr virus was a well-kept secret for decades before the virus was identified by heroic virologists. It was too late. All of these bacteria, pathogens are in our bodies. What are you going to do about it? So now these other doctors are researching what the hell is in these people's bodies. What is going on? To then research what foods out there are the most detrimental to the viruses, and what do these viruses love to feed off of? Many things. Eggs, dairy, meats, blah, blah, blah. Eggs being the highlight here. They also put in petri dishes and did multiple different tests and frickin' laboratory exams. What happens if fruit goes into the petri dish with all these bacteria and these pathogens and viruses? Nothing. Certain things killed them. So in life, why did all of a sudden all of these antibiotics come out? Because it makes money.
Yeah.
So people then see we need a bug. They get bladder infections. They get certain sort of diseases in their body. Well, we've now discovered an antibiotic that's going to kill the pathogen, the viruses, and the things in your body. So everything is just here built on what? Fucking lies, unfortunately. Pathogens such as these viruses cause a staggering majority of today's ailments, and in addition to eggs, toxins that take up resistance in our bodies feed the pathogens. Eggs then are at the top of the list of foods you want to avoid while cleansing because they too are fuel for bugs that cause us pain and suffering and lower quality of life as the years go by. Eggs even feed the viruses that are responsible for almost all cancers.
Ugh.
It's fine and dandy to call eggs a perfect food and hang your hat on that because of what you've been taught. Plus the fact that they taste so delicious and are hard to resist in so many ways. Once you start to learn the truth through that eggs could contribute to someone developing reproductive cancer or other types of cancer over time, they hardly seem worth eating anymore if you have health concerns. Egg whites don't get around the issue either. Whether you're eating the whites or the yolk or both together, they feed pathogens all the same. Many of us has learned that food is medicine. Well, not all food is medicine. Even if it has something good in it, and even if it has something seemingly good for us in it, just because a food contains a nutrient doesn't mean there's not another component of that food that we're not being told about that's bad for us and cancels out any benefit from the nutrient. Spinach is real medicine. Wild berries are medicine. Celery is medicine. Even potatoes without the butter, cheese, blah, blah, blah are medicine. Quick thing, potatoes carry lysine, which helps the body knock down the very viruses that the eggs feed. Meanwhile, food diet programs out there will often exclude potato. It's a prime example of how everyone is guessing. I'm not going to sugarcoat this and say you might have an egg allergy. Yes, people can have egg allergies, including mild versions that go undetected and yet can cause some troubles. Blanketing the general issue with eggs as egg allergies, though, would take away from the valuable information that there's a larger reason why eggs don't serve us and where we're worried about our health. So I'm going to stop there. I have much more that I can go into in further detail that I will. But this has been I posted this on my Instagram in 2019 about eggs and did a video about it.
Yeah.
And people were floored. They were just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it took way too long to share it. Again.
Yeah. Hey,
truth is out.
It's okay.
It's here. Tiffany's like, oh shit.
Damn.
It's
girl.
like, yeah, mic fucking drop. And here's people thinking like, oh, it's such a great protein source. And oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah, because it would be considered easy. They're easy to cook. They're easy to bring with you. They're all these things.
And since your grandma and the grandma's grandma and your grandma's grandma, it's just carried on. And you know, way back in the day before this happened, there wasn't a problem with eggs. We didn't have these pathogens and these things in our bodies.
Yeah.
Like we do since before the 1900s.
Right.
And the other side note here is people that are chronically ill really need to stay away from them. And like when you know that there's no benefit of it, it's kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
What am I paying money for?
I know. Yeah,
So,
it's true.
It's true. It's true.
Damn.
Sorry,
Gina.
guys. It was really hard for me too. It was the last thing I ever wanted to give up. Because, hey, somebody that doesn't love cooking, you know how fucking easy that was for me?
Yeah.
That took away everything.
Yeah.
Took it all away.
So what do you do now then?
I eat fruits and vegetables and I juice and I do smoothies. And I eat food, obviously. Like, I'll have wild salmon. I have...
but what do you do for breakfast?
Oh, it's all juicing.
It's your just
My
juicing.
morning is vitamins and juicing.
Yeah.
Celery juice, my carrot juice. And then later on, I'll throw in my heavy metal detox.
Yeah.
I'll do like wild salmon. I do salads. Like there's so many fucking things to eat that are really easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is it? What is it?
It's a pretty person.
And flower.
Blue.
Yeah, there's the bluey purples.
Yeah, I see the butterflies. And
I feel so much better.
Yeah, you let it go.
Yeah, I got
She did
that
a
off.
release.
Fuck, that feels
I'm,
good.
I'm happy to hold that space for
I was
you.
going to say thank you for holding space, but we don't have to. We don't have to. Okay.
Reflection. Wow. Magic. You have this in you too.
Oh my God.
Reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best.
Wow.
I give you space.
You gave me space. She gave me space. And you know what else is asking for space? The fucking egg. Leave it alone. Leave the damn chicken's baby alone.
Okay, I got a question though.
Okay. Answer.
So,
or I hopefully have it.
The egg itself, as a yolk, from what I understand, is not a chick. And it's not a chick until the sperm of the rooster goes in there and fertilizes it. It's much like a, I guess an egg coming out of our
uterus, or our fallopian tube.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. No, or ovary.
Ovary.
Yeah. I'm sure it comes into the fallopian. Yeah,
eventually.
Okay. It doesn't matter. It's the problem with it is the fact that you're dealing with, there's still hormones, there's still sugars, and there's still a lot of components inside of the material of it. It doesn't have to be. That's why I said
fertilized.
No, and that's why I said it's not about me here being like, you know, vegans or like, oh my God, you're eating a chick. It's not that.
No, I was just curious because how would it have hormones in it? But I don't know shit. What the fuck do I know?
Well,
I don't know.
But if you think about how it's produced, so it's coming from the chicken. The chicken's having to produce and make all of the insides of that egg, like the shell, and then inside of it.
It's regardless.
Regardless, you're getting the hormones that would have had the.
And you're not cooking the hormones, like as if you're cooking out everything else.
So if you're cooking out the protein, you're cooking out. Sorry, not the protein. If you're cooking out the omega and the benefits of it, what are you eating it for?
Well, I know, but wouldn't you be cooking out the hormones too?
Well, same
thing with meats too.
Yeah, so I don't know that answer about cooking out hormones because I don't know if that's possible. So this is truth. I'll have to read it more.
Yeah.
The problem with it is it doesn't matter what you do with it. So he even said
it doesn't matter.
So he says, well, what about, I've got it. He's like, what if you eat it raw? What if so then you're still getting the omega-3s and the things from it. But what you're still not understanding is you have pathogens, cancer cells, viruses, and bacteria in your body. As proven science has discovered, they feed off of the egg and whatever's in the egg. That's what they love. So regardless of how you want to look at it, you're putting that into your body unless you have no bacteria in your body or pathogens or viruses. How do you escape feeding them? So if you know that the egg is the biggest and the best fuel for the things that you want to eliminate inside of your body, why would you still eat them?
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I like your question. It's good because there's people that are going to have their feelings. Like there's people that love them. And I want to tell you, so did I. I'm not lying here. We get that.
I think it's good. I mean, it's good to have the information.
And then you choose.
I just don't have anything to back up anything else other than that. So
exactly. And
I mean,
it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
And this is coming from which book?
So it's in all of his books. You can actually just Google. So we'll just share. He's got obviously his Facebooks, Instagram. He does lives. Everything he's doing daily. He's educating people about the truths of food and nutrition and what our liver does with these things.
And who's this?
Medical medium. Okay. Anthony Williams. He's been doing this. I know. I'm very passionate about this, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Very passionate.
It's okay.
It is okay because at least
I'm here to keep you on track.
She's here to ground me, remember? To ground, to hold space, and to push.
Mm-hmm.
Ground, hold space, push. Can you help me when I'm going to the
I can't help you push, but I can walk you there.
But you can be like, woo, woo, cheer me on.
Cheer you on, absolutely.
I'm going to pull a card on this end. Yeah. I love that. And transformation, that's what's happening.
Your relationship with another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all.
Oh, is that a second one?
Well, it was just on the bottom of the dick.
Ooh. Say that one more time.
Transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things.
Which is true.
Love is the answer.
And this is what Nancy said in her freaking thing. It's just
love
a tally.
is the answer. Yeah. I love her reactions to these. Like, why are we surprised?
So this is who I am.
Oh.
This is who I am. When something rocks my soul, there is no holding back, motherfuckers. Are you ready for this? I want to scream. The people are like, fucking say it already. Who or what is triggering you? Is it me? No.
Ooh.
Angel of expression. Speak your truth and express yourself clearly. Sorry.
That's good. That's really good. Like, yeah. Fucking right on. Yeah,
That's me, naked with my wings, just fucking speaking my truth.
Yeah, there
No,
she is.
and this is a beautiful example because when I can show up in my authentic form, you have permission to do that too.
Right.
And speak your truth regardless of the repercussion, regardless of how you feel. Like you could be like, you are a nippy nippic. No, I was trying to say,
whatever.
no, it was going to be a good thing. You are, doesn't matter. Like,
it almost sounded like narcissist.
oh, well, that is definitely not what I'm not
not.
calling into.
No, but I
my
think
life.
you're talking about the
past?
the repercussion. The repercussions
of
speaking
talking
the truth.
about the egg.
Or even the repercussions of just showing up as your authentic self.
Right.
We had a quick conversation. We'll end it on this, but
I love this.
there's been a time or two
Or 10.
or 10. Like there's always a level of being worried about judgment. And sometimes whatever like we're thinking about ourselves can definitely reflect, and you end up attracting that same type of energy.
100.
But sometimes that's not the case. But sometimes it's like it's more of a test to see where you're at
In the universe.
Yeah, and I know for a fact by showing up as my authentic truth, I have offended so many people that are not, and whatever that story looks like, but worrying about it when it's right in your face. I mean, for me, at times, because I was so insecure and was so worried about what people thought about me, like I'd lay at night keeping myself up thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And so when it happens for me, like if someone is outright showing me that they are not a fan, and I have to be so okay with that, but I also have to really sit with whatever feeling comes up, and because that's a big trigger for me and has in my past, in the way that I used to be, I would confront shit like that. Oh, you got a problem?
Because you didn't want to feel it. You didn't want to feel it.
Yeah, the level of feeling like rejection, or what else did you say earlier? You could have different feelings that come up for
rejection you. And
like abandonment
and judged, and then
confusion. Like why?
Yeah.
Why would someone not like me?
That's
I know I'm acting out of authentic and nothing but love. So just know that if someone even has enough balls to do something like that, we say, if someone is not lifting you up, they're trying to pull you down.
They're an energy vampire.
Yes, that's what they're called, energy vampires. So being approached by someone that clearly doesn't like you, you have to imagine. And this particular story, if I think about this person, I know that this person has deep-rooted anger. You kind of have to, in order to fully display your feelings of dislike, instead of coming across with class and knowing that that's your shit,
right?
And just be like, I choose just to
leave it there.
Just lead with love. And sometimes you don't have to say anything. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, let's move on. Like,
yeah. And it's like that closed door again. Mm-hmm. It was a nice closed door, but we have to sit with the feelings of the fucking closed door.
Yeah. And that's, it's okay. It's okay. So being in our authentic truth, hey, the facts are, no matter, even if you're not sitting in that space, you do piss people off. And who gives a flying fuck? Because it never would have mattered before anyways if you didn't know how they felt about you. It's just like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're not everybody's cup of tea. But don't let those things rule your life. And
stop caring.
Stop from being authentic. Because I feel like we all have a lot to offer. And when we have these passionate moments and we feel the feeling to share or, approach someone and express that type of love, if it's not received, you got to be prepared for that.
Be prepared for it and know that it's not going to dim you to fit in, to not go and do that again. It was a test from the universe to be like, where are you? Where are you at with your self-love, self-care, and accepting of rejection? Because rejection is the number one thing that a lot of us don't even do half the things we want to do because of fucking fear of it. Mm-hmm. But if you just get rejected a bunch of times and then I have an example with our podcast. Let's say we're going to go and ask a whole shitload of people, whatever sort of status they may seem on the outside, and we were to be rejected, we would have two choices with that. We could either look at it as, okay, cool, didn't align for them, they weren't interested, or we can take that on ourselves and we're going to put that hat on and say, oh, they didn't like us. No, you don't have to do that. It is what somebody else's rejection isn't really any of your business. You don't know why it is. So it's best to just go, cool, on to the next. That's a closed door. Go to the next one and not own it and take it on.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, sometimes we're not meant to totally understand that why.
That's right.
But it's just take what you need from it, sit with that, and just know that there's another story on the other side as to why that's happening. And it doesn't have anything to do with you.
Half of this conversation too, like with all of this shit, you're being fucking protected. You don't know what is being talked about or about behind your back. And half these people that have been removed from, I will say, my life, or have been redirected, and I don't want to even say removed in like crazy ways, just redirections, are protection. Yeah. Because they maybe didn't have your best interest or their pure authentic heart and really want the best for you, but they showed up like they did, and then secretly behind the doors, that wasn't what the truth was at all. So we get those closed doors and redirections. I love how this episode just wrapped up about this topic on, it was the Five of Cups. Yeah. It's basically the closed door. Move the fuck on. Move on. Stop revisiting it. Yeah. Drop the cycles. Like, that was a massive cycle for you that ended. Massive cycles for me, for you guys. Fucking cycle breakers. Let's just keep doing it. Break the chains.
Yeah, I love it. So let's wrap this up.
Whoa. 58, yes.
There's just
all the eggs.
We could talk all day long, and this is what happens when we freestyle. Yeah. I think what's been happening naturally is like Kristen's coming up with some things, I'm coming together with some things, and look at you know, they were fucking talking about the same shit. Yeah. Like,
it's
I don't know. Everything that we do is just to open up your intuition, just get to know yourself a little bit more and understand the energies around you, making sure you're setting up boundaries and calling in the things that have your highest good in your favor. Kristen mentioned we've got our circle coming up, so make sure you go on to Eventbrite under Raw Transformation Circle.
Yeah, just even search Raw Babes 101. You can even follow us on there too.
Find it.
You'll see it.
Kristen's Sacred Dance. So when's your next one?
This Sunday.
7
till 9, and it's different. It's going to be a little bit more lead at the beginning, and then more freestyle.
Yeah, so I'm excited. We're going to get some guided exercise using your hips and in your body in ways.
And stretching, intuition, grounding.
Love it.
Tiffany also has her amazing Tuesdays, her fabulous workouts, and her circle. Well, meditation class.
Yes.
Fantastic. Tiffany rocked my ass yesterday. I'm having a hard time sitting on the toilet. We did some
worked out
squats.
at the gym.
I'm sure
That was
there'll be a reel probably on that soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And don't forget, so it's usually about mid-month that we're just continuing our circles. So if you'd missed this one, don't worry. We have one in March.
Yes, and actually, I'll just say right now, I'm just to embark on a breath course. So this is going to be a really big addition to all of our practices. So
our
this
circles.
I just wanted to say it because I'm so fucking excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm really stoked to what is
To come.
about to embark.
Even in, not only in your own life and your families, and then in clients and circles, like it's just a benefit. Just subscribe to the channel because Tiffany will eventually be getting a download and doing some beautiful breathwork exercises on our subscription.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, buddy.
I'm excited.
Okay, cut it out. Let's go.
Okay, all
Love
the
you
love.
guys. Peace.
Bye.